How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish and I am back. This is the first video of the new year and I wanted to give you guys a really big update of all the cars in my garage. But I wanted to also turn a new leaf with my channel because I want this shop to be as professional as possible, which means that today I got a professional to tell me exactly how much it's going to cost to fix all my cars properly. And I was assured that it wouldn't actually take that much money, right?
Sure.
That's not good. So if you guys are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it and consider subscribing if the cars behind me are the kinds of cars and projects you like to see. Now, it has been a while since I've made a video, but it's not been a while since I've been wrenching. In fact, I've been doing it almost every day, if not every day, because I have a lot to show you and you guys are gonna see a lot of videos in the coming weeks and months. But I wanted to touch upon something that a lot of you have been talking to me about, and that is the fact that, well, YouTube projects, they're always finished, but sort of like finished, right? So I wanted to make sure that I separate myself from other YouTube rebuilders and make sure that I do things as professionally as OEM and with as much quality as I can. So I decided to enlist the help of a friend, and you've actually already seen him on a few of the Ferrari videos. His name is Jack. Hi, Jack.
You know not to say that.
You can't say that. Yeah. We're not in a plane. It's fine. Yeah. Jack is a professional body man, and he's on his phone right now. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Just on. Who are you texting?
I'm not texting anybody. I'm getting ready to give you a fair price.
You're gonna give me a fair price?
Fair prices.
Okay, then maybe you should actually put your phone away because I thought we were friends. I thought we were getting the friends and family discount.
I already added the discount in.
Oh no. Okay, so Jack is going to tell me. From a body shop and appearance perspective, what my cars are going to take if I took them to a body shop and how they can be done properly. Because after all, we want to make sure that everything from, you know, Ferrari to a Supra to another Supra to McLaren to anything else that needs some body work, we want to make sure that it's done right, it's done OEM by the factory manual specifications, and also so it looks good. And like it's not just good on camera, but I can actually drive it. What we're going to do right now is we're going to walk around some of the more egregious examples of cars here, and then Jack is going to tell me exactly how much money I have to shell out. Or maybe not. I mean, we are kind of DIYing it too, so, you know.
It'll be fair.
It'll be fair.
It'll be fair.
That doesn't sound fair to me. I always want... Can we have it unfair? Can we just make it unfair?
In my favor or yours?
Mine.
Okay.
Mine, please.
We'll definitely do that.
We're not going to do that. Now, quickly, I just wanted to make sure that you guys know this is because I want to find out what cars I keep and which cars I sell. A while ago, I said that all my cars were for sale, and turns out I sort of changed my mind and I wanted to keep most of them, but some are definitely leaving the shop, and I will let you guys know which ones those are. But since we're on the topic of keeping things, look at this. Look, so my hair has never looked better. Not never, but it hasn't looked better in many, many years, and that's because I used today's sponsor, Keeps, to make this actually not fall off my head, because that's what it was doing for years. So if you guys haven't heard about Keeps, you are missing out, because it is a subscription service that helps men keep their hair. They offer clinically proven treatments to combat the symptoms of hair loss, because 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. Now with Keeps, you can get quality expert care without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. All Keeps treatments plans are doctor recommended and delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. And it's a routine that can work for you. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair you already have, Keeps has you covered. Now, the physicians working with Keeps will help you select the right products and treatments for your specific condition and hair goals. And being able to easily subscribe to Keeps means that you'll have refill reminders, so you'll never run low on the products you need to take care of your hair. Now, hair loss stops with Keeps. So to get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Tavarish. That's KEEPS.com/Tavarish to start preventing your own hair loss right now. Go check it out. All right, now let's begin. Jack has already chosen a car, and that is this. This is a 2008 or a 2009. I can't actually remember what year it is. It's a 430 Scuderia. It's a Ferrari, and it's one of my favorite cars ever, ever, ever. And this has now been repaired. This has a new front tub, or rather a good used front tub, put on it. It has been welded by Jack. This is not really on there. This is just kind of window dressing at this point.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Okay, so you've seen worse.
Yeah.
This car needed some front end work. It also needed some work on the side here. But, you know, the interior's, it's in there. What do you think this would have cost if it just went to a body shop, just completely cold?
So being a high dollar car, being that it's an aluminum car, not a steel car, your rates are going to be a lot higher. So what I mean by rates is like the labor rates. So the labor rate on technically like a Supra, even though this is a rare car, it's an expensive car now, are going to be completely different because this is a steel car. It's much easier to work on. There's less procedures, steps to follow essentially with the repair. Like with this car, aluminum cannot be pulled, so you have to cut it from where the damage ends and replace out.
So what does that look like in terms of dollars?
So it would probably run you at a labor rate of around $90 to $150 a labor hour. The front tub, you're looking at probably around 50 hours. Let's be fair, we'll say it could be anywhere from 70 to 50. So you can go 60 at anywhere from $90 to $150 an hour. So if we average it out in the middle, we say around like 120, 110. You're looking at quite a bit of money just for the labor on replacing the steel parts. So you're looking at $8,400 just for the metal work.
That's just for metal work. And then it doesn't include parts, because parts on this car can be quite expensive. I think to replace everything here, it'd be north of like 20 grand.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yeah, easily. So you're looking on a front end, you're looking at $30,000. Very, very like that.
Yeah.
And then paint and materials.
Well, to paint the car, let's say if I didn't want this color, to paint the car properly, that would be at least, I'd say 15 grand.
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
Minimally.
So it's 45 grand. That doesn't include the quarter panel repair.
That doesn't include that, yeah.
Okay, so if we include the quarter panel repair, how much is that going to be?
So if there's no other damage underneath the quarter, which this quarter panel has pretty much an outer layer and it has structure built into the quarter, it's probably looking at like 70 hours, I would say, roughly, for the quarter panel.
Okay, so another like 10 grand.
Yeah, and then that's not to mention all the R&Is. So like all the
what's
stuff,
R&I?
Removal, remove and install. So
okay.
like that, you take it off, you put it back on. So that you're looking at that right there. That's probably like another 20 hours worth of labor on that. That's looking at like another $11,000.
The better part of $60,000, and that's probably not counting a lot of the little nickel and dime stuff,
Absolutely.
the glass, the
seam sealer,
yeah,
material cost.
Yeah, so that. I mean, all that stuff adds up. So realistically, if you wanted to rebuild this so it looks OEM, and that's not even counting the wheels. So I mean, this would likely be something like 80 grand.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
easily. With that, I mean, you said, what'd you say the brakes were?
Oh, the brakes were $11,000.
Yeah, just for the rotor.
Yeah, just for the rotors. Yeah. That's one thing. But what if somebody brought you this? Huh? What would you say? If someone, actually, it gets better from the other side. So let's walk over to the other side,
yeah,
and you can really take a good hard look at the body work. Oh boy, that's that got a little spicy there, didn't it? Yeah, you see the four-wheel steering? They're all at different angles. It's because GM introduced something in the Lotus called a quadra steer.
Yeah.
Apparently Lotus didn't even know. What would you estimate this to cost to fix?
A lot. I'd probably want another vehicle.
Okay, just for yourself or what?
No, like a whole nother vehicle. Like, and then I could like put like little sentimental parts that are on this one and that one.
Oh, okay.
So they can feel the nostalgia of this one.
Okay. All right. So I should explain this. This is not a project. This is a parts car because my Lotus over there for Wrench Every Day, that is going to be getting a lot of parts. This is a 1995 S4, and you can see all the videos for the Wrench Every Day stuff in the link in the description or in the card up above. But this thing has seen a few hits in the front and in the side, actually. There's a big chunk missing out here. But I figured that this would be a really cool... You know, there is a handle here. This guy just tries to ape this thing off. Look, the handle, and
It works.
It does.
Here. Now push
There
it.
we go. See, look at that. Dude, this is fine. That is fine. That is okay. There's a lot of broken glass in here. There's tolerances. Okay. So, but listen, it doesn't matter if you get in an accident. If you close the door, there's always that, you know, Lotus quality.
That's actually a pretty good shut.
Good.
That shuts and the hatch doesn't.
No, the hatch does not because the body's tweaked. But like realistically, if somebody brought you this, you just wouldn't take it, right?
No, I wouldn't take this. This would be something that I don't think many people would want to take on. Can it be fixed? Yes. Should it be fixed? Probably not.
This is certainly not something you want to rebuild. It's only a parts car, and I will be junking this after I take all the goodies off of it. But one thing I did want to ask you about is this Car Trek internet legend here. This is my million-mile Lexus. Used to be Matt Farah's million-mile Lexus, and this certainly has seen better days in terms of bodywork. The paint has almost zero clear coat on it. So much, in fact, that my camera can't focus on anything. It looks like it has some pretty extensive like paint work just put on top. Like you can look at that.
You could go overboard and do a ton of stuff, or you can just you know, get to the bare minimal of where it's going to be a quality paint job. You can strip it down, epoxy prime it, fix a little dings here and there, 2K primer over that, and then strip the car down to where it's, you know, everything's taken apart, and then paint it. And you're looking at like probably $15,000 to paint the million-mile Lexus. But
This cost me $1.
yeah, but
You're saying that it cost $15,000 to make.
you could sell it for $15,001.
People in the comments are going to be like, well, I can take it to blah, 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 and they'll do it for blah.
Yeah, you could take it to Mako, and then you'll be repainting it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what they did in the first place.
Yeah.
So 15 grand on this. Sweet. Good. Let's move on, because I just got a bad taste in my mouth. All right, so let's switch gears here and talk about this. And I don't have to do anything as far as bodywork on this because it's completely done. This is my McLaren 675 LT, and it looks fantastic. And I've been doing a little bit of maintenance work to it, so I haven't started it in a while. The intake manifold is actually over there somewhere. But I've been kind of working on it. You'll see what I've been up to in an upcoming video. But I just wanted to ask you, from a body shop perspective, you've seen this thing in its worst state, and you've seen how far it's come. Like, what do you think this would, you know, cost if you just gave it to a body shop, you know, any competent body shop that could do something like this, and then, you know, told them you have a blank check?
You're looking at totally different like material versus, you know, versus Supra versus the Ferrari with aluminum, steel, and now you have carbon fiber. Certain composites, and you know, you have fiberglass in certain areas, you have the aluminum structure in certain spots. Yeah, so this was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
So you know, it's gonna be quite a bit. You're looking at like specialty products, things like that. You're looking at quite a bit. Like honestly, I don't know where I would start with carbon fiber pricing, but I'm pretty sure that it'd be around the same labor rates, if not more, than aluminum.
Like the paint on this alone cost me about 34 grand. And that was, you know, many steps that the guys at Allies Auto and Color Recon did. And I love the way the paint came out.
It's beautiful.
It's fantastic. That also included a little bit of a discount for me. I mean, this is, you know, the amount of hours that they spent on this, it was something like 600 hours.
I believe it.
So it's, you know, at a labor rate of, let's say, $100 an hour, it's 60 grand.
Yeah, that's even fair still, because you're dealing with aluminum fenders, right?
Yeah,
aluminum fenders, carbon fiber bumpers, you know, aluminum hood.
Yeah, hood is aluminum. Yeah.
You know, you got the carbon fiber, exposed carbon fiber, so they even went through that and sanded through all that and exposed that. So that's just a process all in itself too, to take that down evenly, where you're not hitting the carbon fiber and damaging the actual strands inside of there, so that you don't get any, when you clear back over it, it doesn't look funny or anything like that. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty fair. Like, I mean, in the sense that you're doing so much to this car with all these different pieces that put this car together, you know, all the different composites and materials that make up this vehicle.
I think I did pretty well in this. even though, I ended up spending, I think it was $241,000, but that's including the price of the car, and we did a lot of stuff DIY. If somebody took something like that to a shop you were working at, this would be a multiple six-figure job, right?
For sure, definitely, because just the amount of labor, like you took this down to, every bolt. You took every bolt out of this car and you redid everything on it. So you're looking at like a restoration job. And if you look at guys that are doing restoration work that are well-known guys, theirs are hundreds of thousands of dollars on muscle cars.
Yeah.
And this is a foreign car at that. So
it's a foreign job. I mean, they don't make them here.
No, I mean, just in perspective of parts cost.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad that I made out well there, but I wanted to get your opinion on something that people haven't seen for a while, and it's that thing. I mean, that thing kind of blew up my channel, so I want to spend a little bit of time on that. So welcome everyone to something you've probably seen for a while. This is my 2008 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, manual, twin turbo, makes a lot of noise, makes a lot of power, but I've never really been super happy with the paintwork. I mean, it was great when it came out, but there were a few imperfections that it just sort of got on my nerves after a while. And it's because in the back, everything's sort of aftermarket and OEM mismatched, and it never really matched up right. Like right here, I'm a stickler for panel gaps, and these panel gaps, it's a little bit big for my taste. Like this kind of goes underneath this carbon fiber panel. This shouldn't be like that. This is aftermarket. This is aftermarket. The entire bumper is aftermarket. These are OEM, but if you can see right here, there's some paint damage there from the installation. And honestly, I think we can clean up the back quite a bit. Now, the paintwork on the rest of the car is actually not bad. I mean, it's fine. It looks good from a distance. Nobody's going to kick this thing out of bed for leaving crumbs, but I wanted to see what your opinion was on how to fix the back end of this.
So the first thing I would do, because it is aftermarket parts, is I'm going to have to take everything apart, fit it to get my gaps where I want them to be. But obviously with this being like this, these gaps are not going to be fixable. You're going to have to do something here where you modify this panel. So you're going to have to do some repair or some, either fiberglass or filler work just to level it out nice and even. And then once you get everything nice and even, you have to function check everything. So you're going to have to be testing if it clears everything when you open everything up. And once you got everything clearing and opening up, then you can take it all apart again. And you go back through the processes of getting it ready to paint, paint it, then put it back together. So that way that every time you open it and close it, everything functions properly, everything fits properly. But you probably are looking at 3 or 4 times of having everything on this car all assembled and fitting and test fitting and moving, taking it off. And that's not to mention the amount of times that you would have just one part that you test fit. Like you would be putting this piece on, 50 times sometimes because you're tweaking something and then you want to check it. And every time you tweak something, you're going to have to check it with both sides because it will change.
It's a 3D puzzle,
You're going to have to blend your quarters and things like that. So just some minor R&Is, mainly a little bit of work to this, and then fitment. You're looking anywhere from, I would say, $10,000 to $15,000. That's a fair range, I feel like, because you got the material costs. I mean, in this, I'm trying to include your material cost, your repairs on this panel right here, and then with the new replacement bumper and paint, I think that's pretty fair, pretty good guesstimate. They go up and down.
So let me get this straight. So everything is $10,000 or $15,000 starting.
That's a pretty fair estimate.
I know. I'm just saying. Just seems like I see a pattern here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have one more for you. And it's the car I drive every day. And you told me recently that you just noticed that it had some paintwork on it.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me what it's going to cost, and please don't you dare, for the love of God, say $10,000 or $15,000.
Can I make it more?
All right, so this is my daily driver, 2015 Mercedes-Benz S65 AMG, and it is the best daily driver I've ever had. But it's also, well, some of the weirdest bodywork I've had on a car, because when I took the black matte wrap off, I realized that it had some boo-boos up and down this side, and I think the boo-boos went a little further than I thought, because Jack was looking at it the other day and said, hey, your car's been like, you know, pretty hacked up.
It waved at me.
Let me know like what this thing would need, because I've noticed it, but I also drive this every day and I'm like, I'm just kind of numb to it at this point.
Well, I mean, other than parts, just replacing like a few parts here and there, like you had a headlight, and I think you bought a bumper for the car, both sides?
Yeah, so I have the new 2020 front and rear bumpers and the headlights and the taillights and all that stuff, and I'll be putting those on later. But just something like, you know, if this is definitely a car that you would bring to the body shop, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Take it to a nice shop that's going to take care of you. Get good work done to it. It doesn't need much. I don't think it's that bad. Like really, honestly, like the body work on the doors is bad. It's a little wavy, but it's
wavy, and also there's some paint missing right there.
Yeah, you can see that's their primer right there. The 2K primer they put on it.
The door gaps are a little bit weird. You know, it's not horrible, but it's also not great.
It's not terrible. It can be better. Mercedes is definitely known for their refinement, and they're definitely a lot better than that from factory.
Would this be like a paint an entire car situation?
Probably blending the sides.
Okay.
If you're gonna do both, bumpers, the best way to go about that would be to be matching the paint to the side that hasn't been painted.
Yeah.
So this side's been painted. There's been body work done to it. So you're gonna end up going down both sides.
Okay.
Or, no, I'm sorry, not both sides, but down the whole side. But if you're painting a new bumper, you're gonna want to come over here to this side. You're going to want to match this paint where it's not been touched, which this looks factory. The peel looks like a factory orange peel.
Okay, so at least this side is okay.
Yeah.
But the thing that I kind of don't understand is that right there. Like this is a little bit, you know.
Kind of kicked out.
Yeah, it's kind of kicked. Okay, we'll just leave that there.
Can I do that?
You can do it.
Can I do that?
Yeah. Yeah,
it didn't work.
No, it didn't work. Oh, also this. There's clear coat damage on the top of this.
This is very common. So essentially, you just use some lift tape and pull back your seals, and then sand it down, black it out, clear it again, and it's good to go. That's pretty common on those.
Okay, good. Well, at least you know that part's not $10,000, right?
Nah.
All right,
we'll give you a discount.
So I am bracing here. How much would it cost to fix this car to OEM?
Okay, so because you do have new bumpers, that's a huge plus. So if it was just you were bringing it in, you weren't doing any of the work to it yourself, you're looking at probably $8,000 to $10,000. I would say that's on the lower side. This is a 3-stage paint job, so. You know, I do. You know, I know we're getting close to that 10 to 15 range, but
well, you said 10.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a lower estimate on this car just because I know that there is multiple parts on these doors that gotta take off. They have the sunshades, they have like all the different switches and stuff like that that are on these cars.
Yeah.
That, you know, so you're looking around that range. It doesn't look like I said, this side doesn't look like it's been touched, but again, you're going to be wanting to match the paint to the side that hasn't been touched, and then wrap that around the car. Okay. So that way you get your best match and things like that.
So $10,000 here, 10 over there, 15 over there. I'm gonna need to do a lot of keep spots. So I know you guys have seen this in the background. I didn't want to ignore it. This is the completed Hellcat Red Eye, and you will see this in the next episode. I am super, super, super excited for you guys to see this because it came out wonderful. And well, I mean, Jack did an amazing job. Jared did an amazing job. I also did a few things, turning a few wrenches. You know how I do. And they knocked it out of the park. Well, you can see how it looks in the sunlight, but you're gonna see a full episode and a full build on this very, very soon. God, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so that is gonna be it for today's episode, today's update, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me well, get super anxious because I have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on these cars now. But that never really stopped me before. And I know you guys saw some stuff in the background, like that car over there and maybe some cars over here. All those cars are getting their own videos. I know you've been curious about them, and I promise you those are going to be some very big, very interesting projects. So I hope you guys stick around because I certainly love sharing all that stuff with you. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on every car in here and cars that you guys have, you should always build them better, and to do that, you should wrench every day. See you guys later.